Hello everyone, welcome to the Rosary Walk at the shrine of Our Lady of the Miraculous Medal here at Perryville, Missouri. My name is Father Ron Ramson, and behind me is a beautiful statue of Saint Catherine Labouré, and I like to talk to you about her today. I've got some really good notes I made up just for you. And so I like to share my thoughts with you. She's from France, and her baptismal name was Catherine. She was born in 1806, but everybody called her Zoe because that was her nickname. And they called her that because she was born on the feast of Saint Zoe. She's a farm girl. She was born and raised in a farm. When her mother died, when she was 9 years old, Catherine went in there and took a statue of the Blessed Mother off of her parents' bookshelf and said to Mary, "Now on, you're going to be my mother." And from that day, Mary was her mother, and it was a mutuality there. It was a mutuality. Mary was Catherine's mom, and Catherine had Mary as her mom. When she was young, she went to lived with her sister a few miles away. But when she was 12 years old, her dad got her back to take care of the farm hands and to take care of the cooking. And so Catherine did that for about 10 years. So she had a family of 5 members and 12 farm hands. Zoe, Catherine, made her first communion when she was 12 years old. It was the first sacramental meeting of Jesus and Catherine. Catherine used to get up in the morning real early to walk to a 6 o'clock Mass at the parish church to go to Holy Communion and attend Mass. It was a little walk. It was 4 miles, one way. One night, at 18 years old, she had an extraordinary dream. She had this dream that was in the village church. There was an old solid priest, venerable priest, saying Mass that she had never seen before. And the priest turned to her and looked straight at her and held her gaze. When the Mass was over, the old priest beckoned Catherine to come to him, follow him in the sacristy. But Catherine was afraid. Well, when she went on her way home, she stopped to see somebody who was sick. And guess what? She saw this person in her picture. This old priest was Saint Vincent de Paul, and he had said to her in the dream, "One day you'll be glad to come to me, because God has plans for you." Catherine was proposed at a couple of marriage proposals. She turned them all down. She told her dad, I'm promised to Jesus Christ. At 18, she said to Dad, I want to go become a daughter of charity of St. Vincent de Paul. And her dad didn't want her to go, so he sent her to Paris to work at a bar and a restaurant that one of her brothers had. But that didn't work. She came back. So after 4 years, at 23 years old, she said to her dad, I want to go and become a daughter of charity. So her dad said, okay, gave her permission. So on January 22nd, 1830, her brother and sister-in-law furnished Catherine with a dowry, about $125, which was a lot of money in those days. And then she began her novitiate at what we now know as the Rue de Bac, the Mother House Chapel of the Daughters of Charity in Paris. During the novena and the translation of the relics of St. Vincent de Paul on 3 consecutive nights, Catherine experienced in the chapel a vision of St. Vincent's heart. Each time the heart appeared in a different color, white one night, red another night, and black another night. She interpreted this to mean that the Vincentian communities would prosper, but there would be a change of government and some other changes. The other thing about the extraordinary thing about Catherine was, during the whole time that she was a novice, and during her in Paris, she visibly saw Jesus by the tabernacle. Visibly saw Jesus, which is extraordinary.